Guys, what is here back with another video. This is part 2 of What If Naruto Was Banished. Last time I left off, Naruto settled into his home, and we're gonna start from there. So Naruto, he just decided to take it easy for a month. Your boy feeling good, he just killed a moth and a bee. I'm joking, I'm not feeling good about that. Even though I didn't want to, I just had to. Alright, but anyways, so Naruto, he settled down for a whole month, just to get relaxed, since, well, this man has been walking for just mad long. So basically, Naruto, he just slept for that whole month, because he was mentally exhausted and physically. Not like upper body wise, but like lower body wise. Oh shit, this man's kicks is gonna be different. But anyways, Naruto, he decides that after that whole month of just sleeping, to him it was kind of like hibernation, like legitimately hibernation. Like he kept his ass in a cold ass room and just slept. Okay, so Naruto, he wakes up a month later and he thinks, I should learn a space-time jutsu. Not only for him to train, but for him to actually teleport to places that he's been. Like I said, Naruto's been practically everywhere around the map in Naruto. He's met every Jinchuriki and every Hokage. Now, somebody said in the comments, couldn't the the tail beast just heal Naruto? Well then, last I checked, well, I'm not really mad at you, but like, I'm just rephrasing something. I like saying that. I like to say last I checked. I'm not angry. If I ever say that about your comment or anything, I'm not angry at you. I'm just trying to make an explanation. Alright, don't worry about it. I'm not mad. I don't get mad a lot. So, so basically, last I checked, Naruto, the Jinchurikis didn't want to reveal themselves, so, and Naruto does know about the Jinchurikis, so they probably thought that he knew, so they didn't want to reveal themselves, so they used their powers. And secondly, if Naruto wanted to be healed, he would have just settled down in the village, and just stayed there. Bless me, excuse me. Just stayed there just to heal up, but he didn't, so he just wandered around the world. So Naruto, he trains on the space-time jutsu. Now, let's skip to his eye. Hold on. Now, Naruto's eye is called the Eye of Knowledge and Comprehension. This makes his, his knowledge is actually widespread. It's quite big. His knowledge is, big body knowledge, like possibly god level knowledge. So yeah, so it also made him a little bit smarter. His comprehension abilities are much smarter, since Naruto was already like an A+ student, a smart ass and stuff like that. So yeah, so Naruto, his comprehension abilities are better. Now this not only gives him better comprehension abilities, big knowledge, and smarter brain, body, or thoughts, it also gave his progress speed and efficiency it's just better. Now, I'm not making it something like 1,000 times. No, just regular 10 times. Normally, people would do 10 times. So, yeah. So, it's just 10 times. So, Naruto, he practices the space-time jutsu, and he masters it after a month. Naruto, remember, he has the memories of Obito, Hashirama, and Ashura. He also, and yeah. And he's still getting memories from Obito, because, well, Obito is still alive. So he knows everything. He knows basically everything about the Akatsuki and stuff like that. But Naruto, he doesn't really do anything. He knows about the Akatsuki. He knows everything, but he doesn't care about them. He knows Itachi's in it, and he's happy that Itachi is, he's still looking after Itachi, because Itachi was one of the first people to actually, well, look after him, and he's grateful for that. So once he heard that Itachi was dead, you could imagine how he felt. He felt pissed, but yeah, at the same time, if you remember Hashirama's memories, and he said, no, not Hashirama's, oops, my bad. What would I say? I remember Obito's memories from the past about the whole thing with the whole Uchiha massacre and what really happened that day. So yeah, because I was legitimately about to say Hashirama like a dumbass. But anyways, Naruto, he he mastered the space-time jutsus after a month. So Naruto, he decides that, well, Naruto, he's gonna pause time and make infinite space in his house, but he's only gonna slow down time that only like 100 million years pass by, when in reality it's just one day. So Naruto, for one day straight, Naruto made shadow clones. Not one, but he made 1,000 shadow clones. And he actually made a jutsu that can clone his weapons. So there's currently, he has the originals, but there's also, well, 1,000. There's exactly 1,002 swords. Well, not 1,002, 2,000. Yes, each clone's gonna have one of each sword. So Naruto tells the clones to train, swinging each sword, and switch after 50 million years. As they do that. As Naruto, he makes another 1,000 clones, and he says, I want you guys to, well, try practicing, well, these jutsus. And he gives them exactly 10,000 jutsus. He gives them each 10 jutsus. Don't worry, not each 10,000. No, he just gave them 10 jutsus. And Naruto, he says, I'll go and try to make new jutsus on my own. As Naruto, he actually makes 1,000 shadow clones, and he says, you guys are going to help me make jutsus. As they said, alright. Now, Naruto, he remembers about Ashura, Hashirama, and Obito, and he says, I wonder, maybe I can use it. And he's talking about Kamui. Because Kamui is not really, it's a Sharingan thing, but it's also a space-time jutsu. But Naruto, he says, I'll think about it later. As Naruto, he makes exactly, and I mean exactly, 900 million clones. And he says, I want you guys to practice these jutsus, the Otsutsuki techniques, Hashirama's techniques from the Scroll of Sealing, those he saw Tobirama use, and stuff like that. And Naruto, he heard about the monkey contract, but Naruto says, nah, I don't want a contract. I find it boring. Should I actually give Naruto a contract? Yeah. Naruto, he remembers Hashirama's, what Hashirama sees, and he says, wonder if there's anything else. As Naruto, he's just looking through it. As Naruto sees, there's a land of divine beast. There's even a scroll for it. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Oh, I see now. Now, the contract for that is actually you have to have mastered a lot of your jutsus. A lot. Like, not just one, but like almost every jutsu. Now, Hashirama couldn't do it because he didn't master every jutsu. Neither could Tobirama nor Sarutobi, because Sarutobi didn't actually master them. He just, well, knew them. And it's basically, Naruto says, since I have all this time, how about we make it 1 trillion years to actually make it so that I can master my techniques, because this is going to take a long time for him to actually master all of his techniques. Because remember, Naruto not only has techniques, but he's also going to have techniques being created at all times. Because Naruto decided that he was going to make practically infinites of shadow clones. Because his body is sucking in chakra at least 1,000 times this normal speed. Since, well, his meridians were opened up, and so were his chakra points. Not only that, not just the chakra points in the front, but almost every chakra point in his body. All 320. Actually, hold on. Never mind, not 320, I meant 4,000. Because actually, for some reason, the chakra points are in every ligament and tendon in the human body, which is quite honestly, kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie, it's quite dope. So, if you should go search up on Google, it's 4,000 tendons and ligaments in our body, and that's interesting. So Naruto has it at all four. So Naruto, he's getting chakra at 4 million times the normal speed. So he has a lot of chakra. Now he also needs to enhance his chakra pool. So Naruto feels that, oh shit, if I don't enhance my chakra pool, it's going to be dangerous and I could possibly kill myself. Now, Naruto, he already has infinite clones, as he says, I want 50 trillion clones, expanding the chakra pool as it is done. And he says, I want you doing this and that with thinking about jutsus, this mastering this and that, and the sword and stuff like that. So, yeah. Now, Naruto, while Naruto was thinking about like the new jutsus that he created, he actually used the he has chakra swords. Like, not swords that are infused with chakra, no, swords that are actually made out of chakra. Not only that, but it's not actually like the element, no, it's pure chakra. And he can make it just pure elemental chakra. And he has practically a lot of these, but the ones he mostly uses are, well, red for fire. No, red is for blood. Orange is for fire. Yellow is actually for sunlight. Is for light, actually. And there's black for darkness, green for plants, and brown for wood, blue for water, and a white one for air. And he mostly uses those ones. And Naruto was actually training them right now, actually training and throwing them around to actually aim them better, but also slice them at the same time. As then Naruto, he suddenly feels dizziness and tired, and he passes out. The shadow clones don't poof away, because Naruto, it's not that he got tired or anything. No, this is when he's gaining enlightenment from the swords. As Naruto finds himself in this random place, and he sees a big-ass mountain in front of him. Bigger than Mount Everest and stuff like that, and it's bigger than Purgatory. And quite honestly, it's at least 500 trillion, that's the height, 500 trillion feet tall. And Naruto says, what the hell? As Naruto sees letters in front of him and says, you have gained enlightenment. Put the sword in the highest place that you can. As Naruto says, as he looks down and sees his sword, and he says, oh. As Naruto, he's walking up, but Naruto, he stops at the 300 feet mountain. He says, hell no, I'm not stopping. As Naruto, he continues, just pushing himself with adrenaline. Naruto says, 500. No, not 500, for 5 years. I have been walking non-stop, blinded to the world, with no eyesight whatsoever, and you expect me to stop now? Hell no! As he proceeds to walk higher, 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 until he reaches the top. Naruto looks down and he sees the endless abyss of darkness, and he's quite fearful. Not of the darkness, but, well, the height he's on. Because he feels that if he falls now, I'm going to die. And we all know that we don't want our boy Naruto to die. So Naruto, he says, okay. As he says, I'll just put it down quick. But then Naruto looks and he sees another sword in front. As he says, what the hell? As Naruto, he takes out both swords and he points them at that sword and he says, move. As he unconsciously does this. He doesn't know why, but it feels like instinct to tell it to move. As basically, there's somebody that appears behind the sword. Now, he's thinking that this is a person, as it's not. It's actually a sword spirit. It's the sword spirit and the owner's spirit. As the owner picks up the sword and he charges at Naruto. Naruto, he notices this and he says, God damn it, he's fast. As he is much faster than Naruto. Now, you may be wondering, oh, is this enlightenment just in the Naruto world? No, this is not the enlightenment of sword users in just the Naruto world. No, this is like many different actual animes, like many sword users. But this one is actually from a very specific sword user. Who would I say it's from? Hold on. What god do I know actually used the sword? What god do I actually know used the sword? Oh, Kratos. Yeah. Nah, psych, I lied. It's just a cultivator. It's some random cultivator. It's some random cultivator that's surpassed the gods. He's in the immortal realm, the emperor's realm, the immortal emperor realm, the immortal king's realm, the immortal emperor king's realm, the infinity realm, and many more. Now, his strength is just getting up and up and up. Like I said, from immortal to the immortal infinity realm, to the immortal infinity king's realm, to the infinite world. Hold on. And yeah, so his strength is going up and up and up by the second. He's reached his pinnacle. And his pinnacle was actually the, well, 1000th of the infinity realm. Stage 1000 of the infinity realm. And that's when he died. As Naruto says, oh my god, this guy is so strong. As Naruto, he's getting pushed back a lot. And Naruto didn't realize this, but he's floating. He's floating. And he says, what? As Naruto hears a voice in his head that says, boy, when you are fighting, there is a platform that is widespread, infinite to be exact. And you do not fall unless you have lost. As Naruto says, so I don't have to worry about falling, huh? Well then, guess it's time to charge. As Naruto just charges and charges, and basically, to them, it's practically at least, like, to the outside world, it's just practically a few trillion years, and there was a clone that saw that Naruto was passed out, and he took Naruto and he put Naruto on the bed. He didn't think that, he knows that Naruto didn't lose chakra because, well, he's still alive. As he says, I'll make another infinite clones to do the work, while I'll have at least 100 billion, no, 100 billion, work on, well, the other techniques that are being created by him. See, the sword things, the ones with the swords, the chakra swords, there's also ones with, chakra spears, chakra shields, and many more. Each shield has its own property, and each shield has its own thing. If you hit the fire shield, you'll burn. Lightning shield, you'll get electrocuted, and many more. Now, Naruto has gotten a lot of releases. Practically almost every elemental release, especially the moon and sun release. So in Naruto, he spends endless days and nights just training in the sun and the night, and he has a lot of his clones sleeping, practically like infinites of clones sleeping, so that he doesn't get mentally or physically exhausted. So he's well rested and many more. As Naruto, since he's not getting mentally exhausted, he can go into hyper. He's actually in his perfect state. Like Naruto has been in his prime since the moment he got to that house. As Naruto, he's just fighting in that realm of the mountain. As basically, Naruto starts to see that they can't even find the mountain anymore. As a matter of fact, it's kind of just like a universe. As Naruto's thinking, what? There's a place higher? As Naruto, he just goes out the universe, then the multiverse, then the megaverse, then the omniverse. And then he went out of the beyond to the point where he actually gets out of somewhere. And he says, what the hell? Where am I? As he's actually outside of an animal, a big-ass animal, as a matter of fact. And it's a dangerous one. And it's a big animal, not like like the 4 heavenly beasts, like and stuff like that. No, much higher. It's actually quite bigger. To him, the 4 heavenly beasts don't even. It's basically that beast is so like the heavenly beasts are just like tiny dots, or at least a little like to him, they're like worms or ants. Yes, no, just a speck of dust. Or at least an atom of a speck of dust. As Naruto, he sees, what the hell is this big-ass creature? As Naruto hears the voice of the sword spirit master and says, kid, why the hell are you not focusing? As Naruto says, what the hell? As Naruto did before he noticed it, he was surrounded by he was not fighting just one person, he was fighting at least infinites of people right now. Quite possibly, yes, infinites. As Naruto noticed that there's other swords on all those many places, and Naruto noticed that all those swordsmen are just fighting him and amongst each other, as Naruto is just fighting these guys, and he says, what the hell, this is too much for me. As Naruto thinks, can I use my abilities like Shadow Clone? As he can use Shadow Clone, as he makes clones to fight each and every one of them while it's going up. He has infinites of clones, just keeps going up, finding the same person, the one that he started with. And basically, his clones are getting overwhelmed, but they're infinite, so they don't really run out. Naruto, he's getting a feel of their swordsmanships, their abilities, their techniques, and he says, what the hell? As he actually got a memory from one of the Shadow Clones of that Shadow Clone talking to somebody that says, so, you're not a cultivator. As Naruto says, what the hell? What's a cultivator? As the clone says that, and the person explains what cultivation is, and ki cultivation, chi cultivation, many cultivations. Naruto's like, what the hell? As Naruto, he thinks, can I get into contact with my clones outside? As he's thinking real hard. Since Naruto just closes his eyes, and the guy thinks, already giving up by closing your eyes, huh? As Naruto says, it doesn't matter whether my eyes are closed. I see you clear as day. As he doesn't know what he means until he starts attacking Naruto, seeing as Naruto's hitting every one of his sword. His sword is hitting he's hitting every one of his sword swings. As he says, what? As Naruto says, this is my natural habitat. Knowing the unknown and not giving a damn. So, yeah, Naruto just continues to fight him, and it's practically been infinites of years, and basically the turtle, or the big beast, basically sees that there's people fighting in front of him. Sure, they may be tiny, but he can see them fighting, and he sees one in particular, actually multiple of that one in particular. He says, what the hell is this ability? He says, is this a cloning ability? As he's thinking, I must take it. As he tries to eat Naruto, as Naruto notices this, and he makes shadow clones. Now, Naruto says, God damn it! As he says, Infinite Shadow Clone Jutsu! And this is actually jutsu that he made. Now, Naruto knows about the Uzumaki techniques and stuff like that, and he made legitimate clones. As Naruto, he's basically attacking the turtle. It's basically like the fight with Kurama, but way more intense and with a bigger beast. And basically Naruto has the clones fighting the turtle as well. And then there are many more beasts that come. As Naruto says, what the hell? And Naruto sees that there's just many more to fight. It's hard. And Naruto, he's thinking, God damn it, I have to get into contact with one of them at least once. It's Naruto, he focuses and focuses, pouring his eyesight into the endless depths of darkness in his mind. And he finally gets into contact with one of his clones on the outside. And the clone hears, clone, as the clone says, huh, Naruto? As Naruto says, I need you to listen to me carefully. There's this thing called cultivation. I need you to make infinites of clones. Do cultivation. As the clone says, alright, just give me the details. So he explains the breathing techniques and stuff like that. And Naruto says, alright, I understand. And as the clone makes those infinites of clones and tells them what to do, as they start immediately, Naruto has a progress of infinity. And basically Naruto is just sucking in ki at a rapid pace. And basically, they just see all the clones just hearing a big boom from each clone in the original Naruto. Naruto's just getting stronger, and stronger. But then Naruto says, clones suppress the cultivation. Sure, you can still cultivate, take in the cultivation ki, chi, and qi, but still we need to suppress it so that when we come into one, we'll just have one big entire cultivation level. As Naruto says, fine, as he makes even more clones. As Naruto's clone says, "God damn it, we have to expand the space." As he expands the space. And basically, Naruto says, "I could fight at least. Hold up now." As Naruto, from that boost, he actually got to, well, the Infinite Realm Stage 1. And as he proceeds to fight and 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 fight, not stopping, not once, and then even more beasts come until Naruto starts going higher, higher and higher and higher to see that there's an even bigger beast than the beast that he was fighting, and he thought it was bigger. As Naruto says, "God damn it, I won't deal with it," but the beast saw Naruto and tried to take a chomp at Naruto, but Naruto made infinite shadow clones to fight that beast, and the many beasts come after that, as Naruto just keeps climbing higher, 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 and higher, to the point where Naruto reaches a point where there is not even a beast to be seen. It's as if where Naruto is in the presence of the beast, as if the beast itself is infinity. As Naruto looks back and he sees the beast, and the beast, he was right. The beast is infinity. As if the beast was the last stop, Naruto thought, but he says, "No, I highly doubt it." As Naruto goes higher, higher, actually surpassing infinity. And he goes up to see not one beast, but infinites of beasts, all the size of infinity. Their power is infinity. Everything about them is infinity. Their health, everything is infinity. As Naruto says, "God damn it, how much years it's gonna take me?" As Naruto says, "This is probably gonna take me infinites of years. Damn it!" As Naruto, he just spams and spams and spams and spams and spams and spams and spams the infinite shadow clone jutsu, which is having a toll on his reserves. As Naruto's clone says, "God damn it, he's going too much." As he makes infinites of clones, and he's spamming the clones on the outside as well to suck in a lot of chakra, making his suction abilities practically infinite now. And Naruto's clones that were expanding his chakra pool made more clones, and his chakra pool is infinite now. As Naruto proceeds to fight him and fight him and fight him without stop, without end, without anything to hold him back. As Naruto's just fighting and fighting and fighting for infinites of years, until he finally hears the words from the beast, and the beast says, "We give." As Naruto says, finally, as he takes out his swords, and there was a platform above the beast. As Naruto, that platform was a special platform. You can put things in the middle of it and it float. Naruto put the blue sword in its sheath, took the sheath and the red sword with his sheath on, put the blue sword facing right side up, and the red sword facing upside down. As Naruto, he gained the highest level of enlightenment, and that's infinity. As Naruto, he starts glowing and glowing and glowing, until his eyes, they actually become like this, because before, it didn't have the lines, and then it just has the lines now. As Naruto says, finally, enlightenment. As Naruto, he wakes up to find himself on a bed, and he says, "Oh, guess I passed out." As Naruto goes to see infinites of clones just surrounding the place, and he says, "Oh, I wonder what happens to those clones." As for those other clones, they're still in the enlightenment place, just fighting for eternity, getting stronger. As Naruto says, "Damn. Even now, I still feel abilities growing stronger and stronger." But what Naruto didn't know was that wasn't the highest point of enlightenment. There was even more higher points. Those were only beasts. What about humans, elves, dwarves, goblins, many more? And what about the gods, the deities, the celestial beings, the immortals, the transcendent immortals, the infinites? As Naruto's clones just climb higher, 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 and higher. There were Naruto's clones. Naruto's clones went from the bottom of that mountain to to every to every highest point until Naruto finally reached the highest point, and that was beyond infinity, transcendent infinity. And there was one that said infinity beyond infinity, an infinite realm that its point has reached infinity, until Naruto finally reached this place, this garden, or what seemed to be this garden space that is practically infinite, with nothing there. As Naruto sees, God, what is this? As Naruto looks up to see a being that shook him to the core. A being with not just like its stare, just one stare from its eye could eradicate all of Naruto's shadow clones. So Naruto, after defeating every beast below that level, went to that beast. Well, not beast, but being, and made infinite clones over and over and over again to fight that one being on end without stop. And it finally prevailed, hearing the words, "I give." And this is truly the last and final point of enlightenment. And as Naruto, it's done. As Naruto's clones proceed to go, as Naruto says, as the clone said, as the being says, "What will you do from here, boy?" As Naruto says, "I have to put all of these swords here." As all of them raise their sword in that infinite space and puts it into the ground with the sheath right behind each one. As Naruto says, "Now we fight with my bare hands," as he's surprised that he just doesn't want to fight with swords. He wants to fight with every weapon in his arsenal. As he proceeds, Naruto's clones inside that realm proceeds to fight. As Naruto says, "Damn it, I've reached infinity." As then Naruto, he feels a shake and he falls. And he finds himself in this abyss. As basically, Naruto looks around and he sees nothing, just complete darkness. As Naruto says, "Where I am. Where am I?" No, not where I am. Where am I? Sorry about that. As the person says, "Complete emptiness. You are in nothingness, boy." As Naruto says, "What?" As Naruto tries to find his shadow, tries to make a shadow clone, but immediately after it's spawned, it's poofed. As Naruto says, "What?" As Naruto just continues to make them, and it gets poofed away. Poofed. Naruto tried to charge chakra, but there was no chakra, there was no ki, there was no chi, there was no QI. Naruto had nothing that he could do. Naruto just stayed there for years, just wandering with his eyes closed. Just infinite of walks, just continues to walk. And Naruto says, "I've been walking for years. Well, it doesn't matter, I'll just keep walking." Hold on. As then Naruto decides that he'll just stop here and die. He stays there, inside that nothingness, and just lays down, waiting for his end that never came. And Naruto finally realized, so this is what it means to have nothing, to be nothing, to see nothing, to hear nothing, just nothing itself. As he hears the voice again saying, "You will never escape from this nothingness." As Naruto, hearing those words, his eyes brighten, and he says, "You're right. This is nothingness. So to get out, I have to make it something." As the voice says, "What?" As Naruto, he just trains, runs, trains, making shadow clones getting poofed, and then he tells those shadow clones immediately when they get poofed to make more. As Naruto made practically infinites of clones, and he says, I dub this nothingness the world of clones. As Naruto hears the voices, impossible. As immediately words came on top, and the word says, world of clones. As Naruto says, there's a sentence under it that says, congratulations on getting enlightenment, on nothingness, infinity, and many weapons. And Naruto, he finally realized that everything in this world is nothing unless you make it something. And that is true. Yes, I came up with that. I came up with that sentence. And you can't change my mind about it. Everything is nothing unless it is given a name or anything. Everything is nothing until the point that it was something. For example, the things we have today, like this phone I'm using right now to make my videos, it was once nothing, just a mere thought. Matter of fact, it wasn't even a thought. The idea itself was just rolling around, just floating in the world until it actually went into somebody's mind and became something. Everything in this world is nothing unless you make it something, or the people around you, or even a god, a deity, a celestial being. And Naruto finally conquered nothingness. And he says, shit, I forgot. I gotta copy those abilities. There's Naruto. He goes back outside and he studies the Sharingans, the Renegans, the Tenseigans, because in this time the Tenseigan, no, this for Shinobi War hasn't happened yet, so there's no Tenseigan right now. So Naruto studies a lot of, eyes and many more, Shukaku's, the tailed beast, and the Nine Tails. As Naruto realized that the Nine Tails had two different eyes. There was one with a lighter shade and one with a darker shade. And Naruto says, doesn't matter. I'll study each and every eye till the limit. As Naruto just makes infinites of clones study the eyes, and Naruto finally he finally is able to actually understand the eyes and says, I can copy them now. As Naruto, he says, no. There has to be a higher form of being in this world, and I'll search for him. As Naruto gets out of the bubble and he says, clones, you can fuse together now and give me my rank. As Naruto, each clone fuses together, and Naruto's cultivation level is infinity, and everything about him is now infinity. Even the everything about him is infinity, but nothing at the same time. As Naruto says, infinity and zero at the same time. That's interesting. As Naruto, he flies for many years. Many years. Until he finally finds the Otsutsuki planet. And he says, what's this place? As Naruto looks over it and he says, doesn't matter, I'll go. As Naruto goes on the planet and everybody's hostile towards him because he's a human. As they all try to attack him, but each attack just gets everybody hurt one by one. As Naruto sees that they have the Rinnegan, or at least some form of dojutsu like the Byakugan, the Tenseigan. As Naruto says, what the hell is that eye? As Naruto sees the Tenseigan, he says, I have not seen that one. Not at all. As he's seen many eyes he hasn't seen. As Naruto says, God damn it. I must. As Naruto, his eyes, they turn into this. And the white spots just turn many different colors just turning from every color you can think of, just a rainbow, until it finally stops. And it's just a gold eye, a clear gold shiny eye, kind of like it's kind of like gold covered with clear diamond. It's not encased in clear diamond actually. And Naruto looks at every eye, and he says, "I will remember each eye I see here and study them." As Naruto goes and he takes the eyes of those that he killed. As Naruto proceeds to take every eye without end, he practically goes all over the Otsutsuki planet killing everybody, with his eyes closed at the same time. As Naruto proceeds to go until he finally finds the Otsutsuki King, not on the planet, but actually on a separate planet that the Otsutsuki King calls his domain, that he actually created. As Naruto goes and he sees the Otsutsuki King looks down at Naruto and says, "Human, why are you here?" As Naruto says, "How dare you look down on me? Know your place." As the Otsutsuki King feels a big pressure upon him, as Naruto just presses him down. As the Otsutsuki King falls down, as he says, "What are you doing, you human?" He tries to use a jutsu with his hands, but his hands are cut off, and his legs going upwards until it cuts off his head. Until Naruto reforms his body, stopping time and reforming it, as Naruto takes his eyes over and over and over again, because the Otsutsuki King's eyes was a combination of every eye that every Otsutsuki had, and Naruto says, "These eyes are mine," as he takes them to study them. And the Otsutsuki King's eye is actually really big, bigger than the 10 tails, as Naruto says, "I'll study you with efficiency." And it's basically Naruto. He's now the ruler. He killed the Otsutsuki planet, as Naruto decides to take the body of every Otsutsuki and put them in the lab. Oh my god. And put them in the lab and testing tubes and many more, because he ran across some cultivation tours from the modern times and future and stuff like that, and he learned, and he asked them questions, and they talked about their world, what it was like and stuff like that. So Naruto, he actually saw through their memories to see if they were lying or not, and Naruto saw testing tubes and many more. As Naruto, he studies their bodies, their minds, their souls. As Naruto learns about the horns, the bones, and stuff like that, and Naruto, he says, "I'll take your evolution." As he takes and he learned about how you can have eyes on your body and stuff like that. Naruto, he gouged holes into his fingertips and his hand, and he put eyes there. And Naruto, he took out his own eyes. He let the shadow clones do it for him. And the shadow clones took out his own eye and put the Otsutsuki King's eye. The Otsutsuki King's eye, it's kind of like a mirror image of every eye. And as Naruto, it's kind of like a mirror, kind of like glass. It's just clear. His eye is just clear, not like clear glass, no, kind of like a reflection, but clear at the same time. You can't see anything that's behind his eyes, but it's like he's mirroring your eyes and stuff like that, like stealing them. As Naruto, the mark appears on his eye, on the eye, and he says, as Naruto, he's finally done after a whole month of just waiting. He says, "It's done. Now Naruto, he's 100% Otsutsuki." As Hagoromo felt this great power and teleported to Naruto, and he says, "Ashura, what are you doing?" As Naruto says, "Who are you?" "You're one of them." As Hagoromo looks behind Naruto and sees bodies and bodies of dead Otsutsukis, he says, "My God, Ashura, what have you done?" So Naruto says, what? What do you mean, what have I done? So Naruto says, so you're one of them. As Naruto says, I don't know who Ashura is. As Hagoromo looks behind Naruto and sees Ashura. And Ashura taps Naruto's shoulder, and Naruto turns around, and he sees Ashura just smiling, and he says, hey, I'm Ashura. You're actually my reincarnation. I see you've gotten stronger. As Naruto says, oh, my there. As basically, that boost from being in Otsutsuki, well, his consumption rate of chakra is practically infinite. He's taking chakra not from the planet, but from, well, existence, the Naruto existence. As Naruto says, okie dokie then. And basically, as we all know, existence is infinite, so Naruto's taking chakra at an infinite speed in infinity. And his progress speed and efficiency is 100 quadrillion. Naruto, he's succeeding in a lot of things. It's basically, he just sits there, talks to Hagoromo and stuff like that. And Naruto says, you had a brother. Let's see if I can find him. As Naruto looks around and he finds Hamura, as he teleports Hamura to Naruto. And Hamura was actually on the moon. He was trapped on the moon with Kaguya until Kaguya saw Hamura disappear. And she says, what? No, how dare he get taken away? As Naruto says, that's sad. As Hamura sees Hagoromo, he says, elder brother. As the two hug, Hagoromo, he's severely wounded since he could possibly die anytime, but Naruto heals him, so yeah. Hamura and Hagoromo talk to Naruto with Ashura, and Naruto knows who Indra's reincarnation is and stuff like that. He's them. And then this is when Naruto gets, well, a memory. He says, what the hell? As he sees Obito's memory, and he says, oh, interesting indeed. As Hagoromo says, what's interesting? As he looks at Ashura and says, your reincarnation before me. He's starting a war. As Hagoromo says, what? He's starting a what? Naruto says, this is gonna be interesting. Actually, I think I should have his abilities as well. As they said, whose abilities? As Naruto says, Indra's. As they said, what do you mean? Naruto says, one of the perks of having the Otsutsuki King's eyes, his brain, and his blood with every other Otsutsuki mind and brain. I have the memories of Ashura, and it seems that one of his reincarnations have been reborn. As they said, what? Which one? As they said, Madara Uchiha. As Naruto says, that's correct, Hagoromo-san. As Naruto says, well, it doesn't matter anyways. Actually, I think I have his Susanoo. Interesting. Naruto has Susanoo as well. He has Madara, Itachi, Shisui's, and many more. So Naruto, he's just minding his business. And I think that's where I'm going to be leaving it all. Hold on. Yeah, he's just minding his business, just training until, well, somebody goes to his village. The village where his forest is. And that's where I'm going to be leaving it off, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Lotus What Ifs out. I'll be posting part 3 of this later. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Lotus What Ifs out. Bye, guys.